My name is Lin Hao. I am 25 years old, an ordinary urban young man. Every day I ride an electric car through this neon flash city, sending it out for sale and making some hard money. In fact, life is quite frustrating: rent, eating, and paying for sudden outbreaks. Life is like an unfinished marathon, running out of breath, but you can't see any point at all. That night, I delivered the last order as usual, and it was almost 10 o'clock. My stomach was so hungry that I was roaring, and there were only a few pieces of money left in my pocket, and I couldn't afford even a late-night snack. I leaned against the wire rod on the road, clicked on my phone and browsed the live broadcast platform, intending to see if there's any free content that can be solved. On the screen, an anchor laughed so hard that the GIFs were full of dazzling effects. The names of the local tyrants flew one after another. What the emperor surrendered to the forefront and the gods came to the forefront made my heart so sad. If I could be like these rich people, I could only do tens of thousands of times at once, it would be so good. I muttered myself and entered the live broadcast room of a new anchor with just a click. The anchor is named Su Xiaoqing. He is pretty and has a good voice, but his popularity is sloppy. There are only a dozen people in the live broadcast, and half of them are zombie fans. She was singing, her voice was good, but unfortunately no one supported the scene, and the atmosphere was as cold as an ice cellar. I saw her talking to herself a little awkwardly and trying to stir up the hot atmosphere, and suddenly I felt in my heart that I couldn't speak. I don't know why, but a thought suddenly appeared in my brain: if I give her some gifts, will it make her happy? But when I think about it, I almost couldn't eat anything, so how could I have such a thing? At this moment, something strange happened. A string of numbers and pictures suddenly flashed through my brain, as if someone was directly stuffing information into my brain. The picture told me that if I gave Su Xiaoqing a small gift worth $10, my reply would be her live broadcast and her popularity exploded, which might even attract a few real rich people to come and support the scene. I myself would get a certain economy bonus because of these $10, and I might be able to get a big event. I was stunned and thought to myself, what was going on? What about dreaming? But that feeling is very real, like someone whispering in my ears, telling me that this investment is absolutely cost-effective. I hesitated for a few seconds, looked at the mobile phone balance, gritted my teeth, and charged $10, giving her the cheapest careful heart. Thank you, Brother Lin, for your gift. I'm so moved. The first gift today. Su Xiaoqing's voice lit up instantly, smiling like a flower, and even deliberately clicked my name to thank you. I looked at the screen, feeling a little proud, but more curious what was going on in the pile of information in my brain. As a result, I was really confused. In less than 10 minutes, Su Xiaoqing's live broadcast began to rise, and dozens of people came in the mainland. There were even a guy with the ID called Night King who directly swept 500 rockets, and the live broadcast instantly exploded. Su Xiaoqing was so excited that she spoke indefinitely. She kept thanking everyone, and the atmosphere was so hot. And what about me? Something more miserable happened. I was about to ride home when my phone suddenly dropped, and it was a strange number. After hearing it, the other party was a hurrying voice, saying that he was the owner of a nearby high-end restaurant. A large customer had to hurry up and send a meal worth thousands of dollars. As a result, the rider came out and asked me if I could take this order. The reward was 3 times that of the usual one. My brain was almost in a state of failure at that time. Wasn't that a coincidence? But I didn't dare to think too much, so I quickly answered and rushed over to take the order. After that order was delivered, I got a small fee of 300 yuan, and the money in my pocket instantly changed from several to hundreds, which felt like I was dreaming. When I got home, I was lying on the bed and turned around and couldn't sleep, and my brain was full of tonight. What exactly does it feel like to no reply? Is it wrong? Or did God finally open his eyes and give me this stingy boy? The more I think about it, the less simple I feel. I decided to try it tomorrow to see if this ability really exists. The next morning, I went out to sell it as usual, but I had more expectations in my heart. Sure enough, on the way to deliver the order, that strange premonition appeared in my brain again. This time I told me that if I walked to a small alley in the city center, I would encounter an opportunity that would make me make a small fortune. I was half believing, but I still followed the prompts in my brain and walked past. As a result, when I arrived at the entrance of the alley, I saw a middle-aged man in a suit standing on the road, calling in sweat, and his mouth was still silenced. I asked afterwards that this guy was a white-hailed company and his mobile phone was just broken. He was in a hurry to contact customers, but there was no place nearby to repair it. As soon as my brain turned, Lima borrowed his cell phone for him and contacted him with a nearby repair shop. The guy was so grateful that he stuffed me 200 pieces after using the phone, saying that he was thankful and left a business card, saying that he could ask him for help if he had anything to do in the future. I was holding the money and felt aroused in my heart. Isn't this the opportunity mentioned in my brain? This ability is definitely not simple. In the next few days, I began to test this ability intentionally and found that it really has something to do with wealth. Whether it is spending money or doing things, as long as the costs and benefits are involved, a straightforward feeling will appear in my brain, telling me whether this matter is worth it, how much profit is, and even the risks can be estimated. I call this ability wealthy straightforward because it is like opening a golden finger to me, allowing me to see through the essence of every transaction. With this ability, my life began to change quietly. When I was sold abroad, I could pick out the most cost-effective orders and avoid those activities that were not paid well. When I was idle, I would browse the live broadcast platform, find some potential new anchors, and invest a small amount of money, so I could bring unexpected responses every time. Slowly, my pockets turned out to be empty and had a small amount of storage, and I could even occasionally have a luxury and order a food like it. But I know in my heart that this ability cannot be so wasteful of small things. I have to find a bigger stage to make it really work. And this stage soon appeared in front of my eyes. That night, I caught Su Xiaoqing's live broadcast again. Her popularity is better than before, but she still has not made much progress. The audience in the live broadcast comes and offers her too few gifts. Seeing her hardworking performance, a big thought suddenly popped up in my heart. If I use friendly perception to help her and invest some money to make her live broadcast hot, can we all make a lot of money? The direct vision in my brain gave me the answer. If I invest 500 pieces now to help her get a wave of popularity, in the next 3 days, her live broadcast will attract at least 10 rich fans, and her total income will increase by more than 10 times. I myself will get an unexpected reply because of this investment, and may even open a brand new path. 500 blocks are not a small number to me, but I gritted my teeth and decided to win. I directly swiped 5 rockets in the live broadcast, and the special effects were flying all over the screen. Su Xiaoqing was stunned on the spot, and her voice was crying, "Thank you, Brother Lin. Thank you, Brother Lin, for your 5 rockets. Oh my God, I really didn't expect anyone to support me so much." The live broadcast exploded in an instant, and the audience rushed in, and the screenshot was flying. Who is this rich man? A new rich man? Xiaoqing is going to be popular. In less than half an hour, the live broadcast was popular from hundreds to thousands, and several big guys followed him to gifts, and the atmosphere was so hot. And Su Xiaoqing didn't disappoint me either. She grabbed the flow and performed more vigorously, singing, chatting, and interacting, and being able to show off. Seeing her live broadcast become more and more popular, I felt so happy in my heart. I felt like a behind-the-scenes pusher, holding a silent anchor up. But what I didn't expect was that this really brought me a bigger opportunity. Not long after I finished brushing the gift, my phone suddenly received a private message, which was sent by Su Xiaoqing. She said, "Brother Lin, I am really grateful to you. Without your support, I might have given up the live broadcast. Are you free? I want to talk to you to see if there's any chance to cooperate." My heart beat a little fast as I looked at this news. Cooperate? Isn't this the opportunity I've been waiting for? The straightforward feeling in my brain also told me that this chat might be a key step to change my fate. I replied to her, "Okay, let's talk about it whenever I have time." The next day, Su Xiaoqing and I met at a cafe. She herself is more beautiful than in the live broadcast, and her temperament is also very contagious when she smiles. We talked a lot, and from her live broadcast to my thoughts, she heard it very seriously and expressed her approval from time to time. Finally, she asked me directly, "Brother Lin, I can see that you have your own ideas about the live broadcast industry. Do you want to help me? Let's make the live broadcast room bigger together. I'm responsible for the content, you are responsible for strategy and resources, and we will make the money." I heard this in my heart. Isn't this what I want? Using my wealthy vision and her talent, I might be able to really make a career. But I didn't rush to answer, but just smiled and said, "This is a good thing, but we have to talk more about how to operate it. I like to be stable in my work, so let's go step by step." Su Xiao was staring brightly, his eyes filled with anticipation. "Okay, that's all. Brother Lin, I believe in you." When I left the cafe, I felt an indescribable excitement in my heart. This is the first time I really realized that I may no longer be an ordinary foreign seller, but someone who has the opportunity to make a big deal in this city. And all of this will start with the live broadcast of the battle. At this moment, my phone suddenly hit me. It was my brother Zhang Yifan who called me. He was so excited as soon as he opened his mouth. "Howsy, did you hear that you have been doing well on the live broadcast platform recently? Have you become a rich man in gift shopping? Tell me quickly, what's going on?" I smiled and replied to him, "There is no tycoon, I just play around with it. But I have indeed had an idea recently and wanted to try it in the live broadcast industry. Don't you understand technology? Are you interested in doing something together?" Zhang Yifan heard it and Lima came to an end. "Make trouble? I like this. Tell me, what plan I will accompany you at any time." When I looked at my phone, the straight feeling in my brain began to move again. I told me that cooperating with Zhang Yifan would be my next step. I grinned and thought, this live game has just begun now. After hanging Zhang Yifan's phone call, a fire seemed to ignite in my heart, and it was so warm that my brain was all about what I had to do next. When I got home that night, I didn't rush to sleep, but sat on the broken sand of the small rental house, took out my phone and started studying various data on the live broadcast platform. Although Su Xiaoqing's live broadcast was popular because I last browsed the gift, it was still far from the real top flow. The audience retention rate is low, there is not much interaction, and the gift income is also fluctuating. The financial vision in my brain began to move, giving me a clear tip. If I could invest another money and cooperate with some precise promotion strategies, Su Xiaoqing's live broadcast popularity could double, and this wave of operations would bring me an unexpected resource reply. I gritted my teeth and decided to take another shot. The next morning, I smashed all the 2,000 pieces I had recently taken into the live broadcast platform, converted into virtual gifts, and opened the video directly in Su Xiaoqing's live broadcast. This time I didn't throw all my brains out, but I brushed them a few times, and I always picked the climax of her live content, such as when she finished singing a song that was particularly thoughtful, or interacting with the audience with special fun. Sure enough, the atmosphere in the live broadcast was getting more and more popular by me. The screen was as if it was not enough to make money, and the number of viewers directly moved from hundreds to more than 1,000. Su Xiaoqing also gave me special efforts. When I saw me browsing gifts, I cue my name, "Thank you, Brother Lin. Oh my God, you are really my treasurer. Come and see, Brother Lin is here to support me again." Her voice was filled with excitement, and the audience in the live broadcast also said, "Brother Lin is awesome. The rich man comes again." I looked at the screen, and felt so happy in my heart. I felt like a big boss behind the scenes, and I could change the game rules with a little push. What surprised me even more was that this operation really attracted several real tycoons. When they saw the live broadcast, they also started to buy gifts. Rockets and aircraft were flying all over the screen, and Su Xiaoqing's income was directly broken that night. I secretly calculated in my heart that the 2,000 pieces of investment have changed more than these in front of me. The straightforward thought in my brain told me that there will be a greater chance to come to me in the next few days. As expected, on the third night, Su Xiaoqing sent me a private message, saying that a small editor from the platform contacted her and wanted to give her a wave of official recommendations for her live broadcast, but the condition was that she had to prove that she had enough poverty. To put it simply, she had to gain another wave of popularity, and it would be best to be among the top 10 on the platform's weekly list. Su Xiaoqing was a little bit difficult. Although her popularity is coming, she is still far behind the top 10 in the weekly list. She asked me if I had any way to help her. As soon as I heard this, I felt energetic. The straightforward feeling in my brain quickly gave a reminder: if I could join forces with a few local tycoons, and some precise promotion operations, help Su Xiaoqing to enter the top 10 of the weekly list, the resources recommended by the platform will make her live broadcasts fly continuously, and I can also use this trend to get some internal resources of the platform, and may even directly connect with the platform's high level. I replied to Su Xiaoqing, "I'm here to find a way to do this. You are dedicated to preparing the live broadcast content and handing the rest to me." After saying this, I contacted Zhang Yifan and told him about this. After hearing this, he laughed and said, "Haozi, you really want to be a big shot in the live broadcast industry. Okay, I will help you with this. I have several technical partners on my hands, who can help you do data analysis, find target audiences, and have some promotion channels that can help you attract traffic. You can tell me how much people you need." With Zhang Yifan's words, I feel more at ease. In the next 2 days, Zhang Yifan and I were so busy together. He was responsible for technical support, analyzing the audience data of Su Xiaoqing's live broadcast, accurately pushing advertisements, and bringing potential fans in. Here I used Finance Direct to select time machines, contacted several little tycoons who had previously swiped gifts in the live broadcast, and chatted with them privately, saying that there was an opportunity to support a new anchor together, and the future profits were visible. When they heard something, they expressed their willingness to follow me and slaughtered thousands of virtual gifts, preparing to play together when Su Xiaoqing's next live broadcast. On the night when Su Xiaoqing broadcast, everything was ready. I made a good time with a few little tycoons, and Zhang Yifan also did the traffic diversion operation in place. As soon as the live broadcast was broadcast, the popularity began to rise. Su Xiaoqing was in a very good condition that day. She wore a particularly beautiful dress and dressed up with a light makeup. She sang, chatted, and played games, and was able to show off her skills. Several local luxury wheels were swiping gifts, rockets, aircraft, and super sports cars, one after another, and the special effects in the live broadcast burst out simply, and the number of visitors directly increased from more than 1,000 to more than 5,000, and the screen was so hard that it could not be seen. "Thank you, Brother Lin. Thank you, King Knight. Thank you, Brother Hai. Oh my God, you are so awesome." Su Xiaoqing's eyes were red with excitement, and she kept thanking us, with a crying voice in her voice. The atmosphere in the live broadcast was pushed to the top, and passers-by couldn't help but follow the gifts, and the scene was so hot. After the live broadcast that night, Su Xiaoqing's live broadcast popularity directly entered the top 5 of the weekly list. The platform editor Ma contacted her and said that the official recommendation was finalized. Next, she will push her homepage and provide her with special event resources. Su Xiaoqing was so excited that Lianya called me, and the voice was filled with gratitude. "Brother Lin, I really thank you very much. Without you, I would never have been today. I really don't know how to answer you." I heard her and felt very happy, but I still said calmly, "Don't be polite. We are just working together and helping each other. You should prepare well and seize this opportunity to recommend this wave of recommendations. We can still push up." After hanging up the phone, I looked at the screen of my phone, and the direct feeling in my brain began to move again, telling me that the reply to this wave of operation has not ended. Sure enough, at noon the next day, I received a text message with a strange number saying that I was a manager of the live broadcast platform. I wanted to have a meeting with me and talk, saying that I was very interested in my investment vision and hoped to discuss cooperation. When I saw the news, my heart beat a little fast. Isn't this the resource report that is directly called? It's a big opportunity for me to get in touch with the platform manager. I returned to the other party and had an appointment to meet at a high-end cafe in the city center in the afternoon. Before leaving, I deliberately changed my clothes like my body. Although it was not a famous brand, it at least looked clean and neat. When I first met this kind of person, I always left a good impression on me. When I arrived at the cafe, I recognized the manager at a glance. His name is Li Ming, who is over 40 years old, wearing a casual suit, and his atmosphere is quite strong. He is obviously a person who often deals with big people. When he saw me, he smiled first, and then went straight to the topic. "Mr. Lin, I heard that you promoted a new anchor on our platform, named Su Xiaoqing, and had a very beautiful operation. In just a few days, he promoted a little transparent to the top 5 in the weekly list. This vision and means are not simple." When I heard him, I felt a little proud, but I was still dressed quite frankly on my face. Manager Li has won the prize. I just play around with it and my energy is so strong. Xiaoqing has the ability herself, so I just helped me. Li Ming smiled, picked up the coffee and took a sip, and then said, "Mr. Lin, Wei Mingren don't say anything. I checked your information. You used to be sold for sale and had no background. If you can make such a big move in such a short time, you must have your own door. I came to you today to ask, are you interested in working with our platform more in depth? For example, help us discover more potential anchors, or participate in some platform business projects." When I heard his words, I felt aroused in my heart, and the direct vision in my brain gave a reminder, this is a big opportunity. If I agree to cooperate, I will be able to make my first pot of gold through platform resources in the next 3 months, and may even become the platform's core partner. I smiled and said, "Manager Li, I am of course interested in cooperation. However, I like to be stable in doing things. We have to talk slowly how to cooperate. Only after the details are finalized can I feel at ease." Li Ming heard me, and he saw a flash of appreciation in his eyes and said, "Okay, being stable is a good thing. That's it. In a few days, our platform has an internal meeting, and some industry leaders will come to the scene. If you are interested, you can come and talk about specific cooperation in person." When I heard this, my heart became even more excited. This opportunity is not something that can be seen at will. I replied, saying that I would definitely be there. Li Ming smiled and gave me a business card, saying that he would just contact him at that time. When I left the cafe, I looked at the business card in my hand and felt indescribable. It's only a few days ago. I went from being a young man who sent out for sale to the point where I could talk and cooperate with the manager of the live broadcast platform, and even had the opportunity to meet the industry tycoon. All of this has the ability to see wealth directly. But I also knew in my heart that the road had just begun and there would be greater challenges waiting for me next. Sure enough, within 2 days, I received a call from Su Xiaoqing. She was anxious in her voice and said that a guy named Zhou Tiancheng recently started to show her live broadcast on the platform. He is Xiaodong's company in the platform's Long-2 enterprise. He has a lot of resources. Recently, he didn't know why, but suddenly started to suppress Su Xiaoqing and bought a bunch of live broadcast content to hack her. It also made some small anchors on the platform deliberately scatter traffic when she was live broadcasting, causing her live broadcast to decline. When I heard this, I bowed and thought to myself, who is Zhou Tiancheng coming? Is it Su Xiaoqing, or me behind it? The straightforward feeling in my brain quickly gave the answer, this guy has noticed me, and he regarded me as a potential threat, and planned to start from Su Xiaoqing first and try my strength. If I don't fight this time, he will use a larger resource to suppress us, and may even directly block our path. I gritted my teeth and told Su Xiaoqing, "Don't worry about this matter, I'll deal with it. You should focus on live broadcasts and don't let those dark people affect their mood. I have a way to hand the others to me." After hanging up the phone, I contacted Zhang Yifan and told him about this. After hearing this, he sneered, "Howsy, this Zhou Tiancheng is a second-generation ancestor who has money in his family and bullies others' habits. Don't worry, I have a trick in this matter. We can use technical means to counterattack. First dig out the black material of the water army, and then find a few big verses to help him speak out, and turn the arguments to him. I heard Zhang Yifan's plan and had a clear idea. The straightforward feeling in my brain also told me that if this counterattack is operated properly, it will not only resolve Su Xiaoqing's crisis, but also make Zhou Tiancheng eat a slap, and may even force him to take the initiative to discuss with me. I grinned and thought, this game is only now really interesting. In the next few days, Zhang Yifan and I started to work hard. He was responsible for technical operations and quickly dug out the black material of Zhou Tiancheng buying the water army. He also contacted several big verses on the platform to prepare to break out the materials. Here I continued to use the finance direct selection timer and arranged a new promotion plan to help Su Xiaoqing calm down the popularity. I even contacted several local tycoons who had worked with before, so that they could give gifts at the key moments and give Su Xiaoqing a happy scene. After everything was ready, Zhang Yifan took the lead in causing trouble and anonymously sent the black material of Zhou Tiancheng's water buyer to the hands of several big verses. When those big verses were very popular, Lima began to bring music on the platform and posted diss Zhou Tiancheng, saying that he bullied others, causing the platform's environment to be in a state of chaos. As soon as the discussion fermented, it soon became burnt to Zhou Tiancheng, and even the fans in his own live broadcast began to doubt him, which made him lose weight. At the same time, under my operation, Su Xiaoqing's live broadcast not only did not lose its popularity, but instead increased. The traffic that was originally driven away by Zhou Tiancheng slowly flowed back. Su Xiaoqing was so excited when she looked at the data in the live broadcast that she sent me a message saying, "Brother Lin, you are really my savior. If you weren't here, I really don't know what to do." I looked at her news, smiled, and replied, "We haven't won the small things yet. There's a bigger battle to fight next. You are ready, let's fight together." Although we were in the first exchange with Zhou Tiancheng, I knew in my heart that this guy would not be able to stop like this. The resources and energy behind him are far beyond what I can compare with now. The direct feeling in my brain also reminded me that in the next few days, he might have greater actions, and might even directly point to me. I have to prepare for everything and welcome this real tough battle. At this moment, the phone was hit again, and it was Li Ming who called him. He said with a smile in his voice, "Mr. Lin, the time for the internal meeting I mentioned before has been set, just the night after. If you have no problem, I will send someone to pick you up and introduce a few big names in the industry to you." I heard this and felt a little nervous, knowing that this was a key opportunity. Joining the industry tycoon may give me more trump cards to fight against Zhou Tiancheng's blow. I replied, saying that I would definitely arrive by then. After hanging up the phone, I looked at the night outside the window and thought to myself that this live broadcast of the Empire will become more and more exciting next. After hanging Li Ming's phone, I stood in front of the window and looked at the night outside, as if I had a small drum in my heart, and I was pounding. The internal meeting the night after tomorrow is definitely a big opportunity, but it may also be a big pit. The faith direct in my brain told me that this meeting would allow me to reach the core circle of the live broadcast industry, and might even get resources to change the game rules directly, but at the same time the risk was not small. Zhou Tiancheng and his partner would probably join me in this field. I have to prepare everything well and can't let myself step on the short side. I turned back to the broken small table, called Zhang Yifan, and told him about the meeting. After hearing this, he smiled and his language was full of excitement. "Haozi, this is a big stage. If you can face the big guys in the industry, you really have to go to the front of the stage from behind. Don't worry, I'll help you with this matter. We have to do some training courses first and understand the background of those big guys clearly, so as not to be tricked." I clicked my head and felt a lot in my heart. Although Zhang Yifan is usually a man, he is definitely in charge of his important work. In the next 2 days, he brought his technical team to help me dig up information about several big names that might appear at the meeting, including their business background, platform relationships, and even personal preferences. And we continue to use Faith Direct to simulate various possible scenarios, predict the responses and risks of each decision, and ensure that we can be free and comfortable at that time. I didn't have time to meet her and communicated with her about the recent incident. She heard that I was going to participate in the industry meeting. Her eyes were as bright as stars, and her face was full of admiration. "Brother Lin, you are getting more and more hurt now. If you participate in this meeting, you may be able to directly push our live broadcast to a new level. Will I have the opportunity to follow you to see the world?" I looked at her expectant eyes and smiled. "This meeting is mainly for business. You may not be able to help you when you go there. But don't worry, when I discuss the resources, you will definitely be the first beneficiary. You have been dedicated to preparing live broadcast content these days, so as not to let the popularity fall. We still have tough battles to fight later." Su was a little clear and slightly disappointed. Although he was a little disappointed, he still listened obediently and went back to continue to fight her live broadcast. I looked at her back and felt indescribable. From the initial gift of $10 to the current winning streak of her, I have long been a pure cooperation with her, and I am a bit like a fighter, and I even have such an ignorant relationship. But I quickly shook my head and threw these messy thoughts out of my brain. The most important thing to worry about right now is meetings, feelings, etc. Let me talk about it later. At the meeting that night, Li Ming indeed sent a car to pick me up. The driver was a well-dressed middle-aged man wearing a low-key black business car. When I saw me at the friendly location, I said, "Mr. Lin, Manager Li is already waiting for you at the venue. Please get on the car." I sat in the car and looked at the street scene of flying and retreating outside the window, and my heart was both tight and excited. This is the first time I have really stepped into this high-level circle. I feel like a gangster from the street was suddenly pulled into a grand banquet. It is unfamiliar, but there is also a kind of impulse to try. The venue is set in a private banquet hall in a top-level hotel in the city center. It is decorated in a magnificent and rich smell in the air. When I followed Li Ming in, there were already many people sitting there. Men and women were dressed in exquisite clothes, and their every move was the atmosphere of the superior. Li Ming introduced several key figures to me in a low voice, including the founders, top investors of several live broadcast platforms, as well as some industry leaders. I was calm on the surface, but I secretly remembered the name and background of each person in my heart. The direct feeling in my brain has begun to move, analyzing who can bring the biggest reply. At this moment, I noticed a familiar figure in the corner of the banquet hall, Zhou Tiancheng. He was wearing a custom suit, with an arrogant smile on his face, and was greeting several big shots. My heart sank, and sure enough, this guy is here too. He turned his head, his eyes facing me, his lips slightly raised, and a meaningful smile appeared. I understand that when he comes today, he is definitely not just a hot topic, but probably is coming to me. After Li Ming took me to his seat, the meeting officially began. First, some industry reports and data analysis were quite boring, but I heard it very seriously because these information was a precious resource for me. The direct feeling in my brain kept moving, telling me which data can be used to optimize Su Xiaoqing's live broadcast room and which trends can help me find the next investment direction. When the midfield was resting, Li Ming took me to meet several big shots. They expressed some interest in my new face. Especially after hearing that after I praised Su Xiaoqing, several people even took the initiative to post a business card, saying that they had the opportunity to talk about cooperation. I was secretly excited, but I was still dressed quite frivolously on the face. After being together in this kind of situation, it would only make people disgusted if they were too arrogant. Just when I was talking to an investor, Zhou Tiancheng suddenly walked over, holding a glass of red wine in his hand, and said with a smile, "Yeah, isn't this Brother Lin? I heard that you have been doing well on the platform recently. Even Manager Li has brought you to this scene, which is a disaster." His language sounded like a prize, but his eyes were full of choruses. Several people around him stopped talking and looked at us here. The atmosphere was a little subtle in an instant. I sneered in my heart, knowing that this guy is here to find fault, but I still replied calmly, "Mr. Zhou has won the prize. I am a little man and have a strong atmosphere. Unlike Mr. Zhou, I have a big family and a big career. I can be a big shot at it with just one move. Zhou Tiancheng heard me, his face froze slightly, but soon laughed again, patted my shoulder and said, "Brother Lin is so stupid. I heard that you have recently praised an anchor named Su Shaoqing, which is quite powerful. However, this industry is deep and it is not enough to rely on luck alone. If you encounter trouble one day, remember to come to me and I will help you anytime." After speaking, he looked at me meaningfully and turned around. I looked at his back and wondered. The guy had his knife in this conversation, and clearly warned me not to be too proud, and was also trying to find my bottom line. The straightforward feeling in my brain told me that he would definitely have big moves next, maybe directly pointing out my live broadcast resources, or even using capital means to poach Su Shaoqing. I have to think of a solution tightly, and I can't let him walk with my nose. After the meeting, when Li Ming sent me off, he said to me in a low voice, "Mr. Lin, you performed well today. Several big guys have a good impression of you. Over the past few days, our platform will launch a major project, which is about the new anchor support plan. If you are interested, you can participate in it. I will talk to you in the specific details." When I heard this, I was happy and knew that this was the resource report I was talking about. I said it well, and at the same time, my brain has started to calculate how to use this project to help Su Shaoqing stay calm and even promote a few new anchors to expand his influence. After returning home, I didn't rush to sleep, but talked to Zhang Yifan on a phone call and told him about what happened at today's meeting. After hearing this, he smiled and said, "Haozi, you're doing well today. But Zhou Tiancheng is definitely not a fuel-efficient light. Since he has picked you in person, he will definitely cause trouble next time. We have to start the fight first and take over more resources while he has not reacted." I clicked the head and had a preliminary plan in my mind. In the next few days, I began to work hard on the new anchor support project mentioned by Li Ming. At the same time, Zhang Yifan helped analyze the platform data, found several potential new anchors, and prepared to use Faith Direct to accurately invest and quickly lift them up. I didn't fall behind Su Shaoqing either. I helped her plan several live theme broadcasts, and cooperated with the platform's push resources. Her popularity directly reached the top 3 in the weekly list, and her income increased several times. Just when I thought everything was moving in a good direction, Zhou Tiancheng finally took action. That night, Su Shaoqing suddenly called me and the sound was filled with panic. "Brother Lin, it's not good. The platform just notified me that my live broadcast was restricted, because the content was incorrect, but I obviously didn't do anything. Also, several of my big fan accounts were also blocked, saying that it involved flashing data, which was impossible." After hearing this, I Browd and Lima understood that this was Zhou Tiancheng's method. He used the platform relationship to directly suppress Su Shaoqing, and it was clear that he was implicating me. The direct feeling in my brain quickly moved, telling me that if I didn't respond, Su Shaoqing's live broadcast might be directly destroyed, and my efforts would be overwhelmed. But at the same time, I also gave me a reminder, this crisis is actually an opportunity. If I can find a certificate that this is Zhou Tiancheng's operation and hype up the argument, it will make him suffer the consequences and even force the platform to give me more resources as a supplement. I comforted Su Shaoqing, "Xiqing, don't worry, I'll deal with this matter. You stop broadcasting for one day first, don't be too hard on the platform, I will find a way to solve it." After hanging up the phone, I contacted Zhang Yifan directly and told him about this matter. After hearing this, he sneered, "Haozi, this is a good thing. There must be records in the background for the operations of stream limit and banning. I will let my people dig to ensure that I can find the evidence of Zhou Tiancheng's move. Then we will contact a few big verses to break this up and let him die." In the next 2 days, Zhang Yifan fought day and night with his technical team, and finally dug out some operation records from the platform's backend, proof that Su Shaoqing's live broadcast room was restricted and her fan account was blocked. Both Zhou Tiancheng started directly through the relationship. We anonymously distributed these certificates to several big verses on the platform. When they saw that they were hot, Lima began to bring a rhythm and criticized the internal shady scenes of the platform. They called Zhou Tiancheng a battle to bully others, which made the live broadcast environment turmoil. After the discussion began to ferment, it soon became burnt to Zhou Tiancheng. Even the platform officials were forced to respond and said that they would investigate the matter. Su Xiaoqing's live broadcast not only lifted the current limit, but also caused the popularity to explode due to this wave of popularity, and the number of visitors and gift income reached a new high. At the same time, Li Ming also took the initiative to contact me, saying that in order to calm the discussion, the platform decided to give Su Xiaoqing a big push as a supplement, and at the same time invited me to participate in a larger business project, which was considered a safety for me. I looked at the news on my phone and felt so happy. This reaction not only resolved the crisis, but also made Su Xiaoqing and I fully enriched the pot. More importantly, Zhou Tiancheng ate a big meal this time and should not dare to act rashly in a short period of time. I know that this scene is not over with his weight, but he at least understands one thing: Lin Hao, aren't that easy to bully. A few days later, Su Xiaoqing's live broadcast was so popular that she became one of the top streams on the platform, and her income increased by more than 10 times. She specially made an appointment with me, thanked me in person, and her eyes were filled with gratitude. "Brother Lin, I really admire you. My step from being a little transparent to this point is all because of you. I really don't know how to reply to you, otherwise. I'll ask you to have a meal in the future, anywhere." I looked at her smiling like a flower, and I was very happy, but I still talked. "It's not necessary to eat. We are just working together and helping each other. You should keep your status well and not let the people fall down. We still have to continue to get angry." Su was a little clear and there was a different feeling in his eyes, but I didn't think much about it. At this moment, there was something more important waiting for me. The big project Li Ming mentioned has officially started. It is a plan for cross-border cooperation of live broadcast platforms, covering multiple fields such as e-commerce and entertainment, and is amazing in scale. I know that this is my first step in truly building a live broadcast empire. As long as I operate it properly, I can turn from a small person into a top player in the industry. At the same time, good news came from Zhang Yifan. He said that recently, some new data algorithms have been developed that can help me find potential anchors and target audiences more accurately, and the efficiency is several times higher than before. After hearing this, I felt more confident. With his technical support and my financial perception, I have the confidence to respond no matter what challenges I encounter next. That night, I stood in front of the window of the rental house, looking at the neon lights outside, and felt indescribable in my heart. From the guy who sent the seller to the current live broadcast tycoon, I walked all the way, although it was full of crisis and challenges, but I finally stood firm in the city. But I know that this is just the beginning. The battle scene in the live broadcast industry is far more cool than I thought. Zhou Tian became such a rival, but it was just the tip of the iceberg. The road ahead is still long, and I have to continue working hard to make this game bigger and more exciting. The phone suddenly came back. It was a news from Li Ming that the project will be launched tomorrow, so I can prepare for it. I looked at the screen, my mouth slightly raised, and I thought, "Come on, I will accompany you in the next game at any time."